Our next speaker is the smoothest voice in the game. He hosts ABL Live. If you haven't watched that, you should definitely tune in and call in. Make sure your volume's not all the way up because it does irritate everybody and they're just screeching in the comment section. He's conservative, he's from Virginia, and I'm very glad he's here. Anthony Brian Logan.
Wow. Thank you all for being here. It's going to be a tough call, man, but I'm going to try. Oh, man. Hey, I've had a great time since I've been here. Came in yesterday. I saw a lot of you out at Lowbrow. Seen a lot of you today. Met a lot of you. Great people. Very nice. It's a lot different from where I come from in Virginia. It's a little bit, it's just weird. The culture here is beautiful, and I love y'all. So I just want to thank you for that. My topic for today is called boxes. That's going to be the name of it. But before I get into my topic, I was going to tell you a little bit about me. Now, I'm originally from a place called Rand, West Virginia, very small, about 1,000 people. In the state, it's about 95% white. It's like a black enclave in a mostly white place. So the culture there is much different. And living in the inner city area and then coming from that area is much different. People don't really understand. They talk about, oh, the blacks are in poverty, the blacks are in poor in these cities, but when you come to a small area like that, you have no idea what you take for granted. Being able to walk to a grocery store, a corner store, none of that. Stoplights, police, none of that. So it's much different. And then there is no violence. There is no crime. You could pretty much just be outside chilling. Nobody's going to bother you. But where I'm at, it's a lot more money, but for some reason there's more violence and crime. So I just want to give you that part of my upbringing and tell you about this whole thing about, oh, it's because of the racism, it's because of the poverty in the inner cities. That's why they're violent. Well, how is it so when where I come from is much poorer? It's much less resources that are available to the average person. So that is the first part. Now, how I grew up, I moved to Virginia at a very young age, probably like when I was about an infant, basically. I would go back and forth to West Virginia and Virginia, spend time. Now, when I was in Virginia living there, the experience was a little bit different, much different than you may think. Inner city areas, low income areas, but I was able to just, how can I say, I was able to kind of grow and blossom as a person much differently than the average person would think coming from my background. Coming from the city, probably about majority black, with about 100,000 people, you may think crime, violence, but me, I was in the video games, I was in the comic books, I was into just playing like a regular kid. I didn't have all these problems like, oh man, the world's coming to an end, I live in the hood. No, I had fun. It was fun for me and fun for everybody around. Unfortunately, some of us got caught up in the streets, some of us got caught up in problems, but that wasn't for me. So that's that part of it. Now, as I got older, I got more into technology. That was my thing. I'm an artist, I'm a graphic designer by trade, and I got more into comics, more into reading, more into stuff like that, and that was my main thing. So I started to pursue that as a career. Now, once I got to be about 19 or 20, I'm in college, I'm like, what am I going to do? I know some of you were in here today, you're in college, you're like, what am I going to do? What's going to be my next venture in life? And that's where I was. So I looked at myself, I'm like, what can I do that's good? What can I contribute to the world? What can I contribute to the black community, so to speak? So I came up with the idea of being a graphic designer. I could start my own business, I could service other businesses. That was my main thing. So that was my thought process from a pretty young age. And that's how I've been able to be here today. I had a lot of time to be able to have time to myself and not be in the corporate structure. I've been self-employed for about 10 years now. I'm 32 years old. That's what I've been doing the whole time. Now, as far as this whole political thing, I've been involved with that for quite a while, but not necessarily in the way you may think, not necessarily in the way of, oh, I'm part of the Republican Party, the Democrat Party. I was always, as a child, growing up as a liberal, even though our family was very conservative, because you're coming from West Virginia, it's very, very, very Christian. I got family that have churches, I got family that are preachers, I got family that are very into the church, so I was raised with Christian values. If any of you subscribe to me, you know I don't curse, I don't yell, I don't scream, I don't holler, because that's part of my conservative upbringing. However, when you're in the black community, a black American, you're always taught, you must be a liberal, you must vote for Democrat. If you don't, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're Uncle Tom, coon, sellout, all kind of names. But as I got older, I'm like, hey, it doesn't make any sense here, because why am I being called all these names for being a conservative politically, but yet I was raised intentionally to be a conservative socially? To me, it didn't make any sense. And as I got older, I kind of just married those two philosophies together, conservative, socially and politically. So that's pretty much what that is about me. Now, the reason why I told you my life story there was to basically bring up the title of boxes, the topic of boxes. Why are boxes important? Why are they bad to have? Now, what I mean by that is the box of, because of who you are, because of your ethnicity, because of where you come from, you must behave a certain way. You must fit into a certain category. And the box really just limits you from being able to go through life and live a fulfilled life, because you're not able to reach out of your box. It's just like if you put a mouse into a very small box, all that mouse will know is whatever is put into it, and there's not much room for him to explore to see more. You can't go out in the field, you can't go out in the open world and discover what else is out there. All he knows is, okay, it's cardboard, it's food, and that's it. If he is released from the box, he has no idea what to do with himself. He has no idea how to conduct himself in the world. So that's why boxes are not a good thing. Now, the box I've always been in my whole life, for the most part, has been one of political liberalism. That's been the main thing, and I'm trying to break out of that box, and I have broken out of that box. Now, as far as boxes are concerned, people look at me sometimes and they think, well, what are you? Like, when I was on the plane here, I'm coming from Virginia. It's a very big military area. We've got a very big military base, biggest naval base in the world, and I come here, you guys have a base as well. And I was asked 10 times, hey, are you in the military? You a military guy? It's like, no, not in the military. If anybody's wondering that, I'm not in the military, never been in the military. But that's always been what's asked. Or they say, oh, you play basketball or something. If I was to play basketball, I'm telling you, I'm not good. I'll be the last guy you pitch, so. I'm not a basketball player. I'm not in the military. I'm not a game banger. Never been locked up. I like comic books. I like video games. I like politics. That's me. So, and being able to reach outside of a box is important, because if you're not able to do that, then how are you going to contribute to the world? If everybody's the same, if everybody's like monochromatic, they have no layers to themselves, how are you going to be able to contribute to the world? You have no ability to be able to do anything different than the next person did before you, or the person after you. Everybody's the same. It's like an assembly line. You got to have diversity of opinion, diversity of thought, not just diversity of physical appearance. I think that's where a lot of us go wrong. We say, oh, well, diversity, that's just how we look. You know, you're from Mexico, you're from America, you're from Europe, wherever you're from. That is not true diversity, in my opinion. It's all about how we think, how we behave, how we look at the world. That is true diversity, and that is what being outside of the box, to me, represents. Sorry, here, looking at my notes. Boxes don't define us, they often divide us. It's like what we said earlier. When we stick to a certain political ideology, we're always like, well, this has to be me, and if you're on the other side, I can't get along with you because you're over there. But once you break outside of your box, now you're able to say, okay, you over here, you got something I agree with, you have one thing that I'm cool with, you over here, same thing, we're able to kind of come to one common accord. We're able to kind of come to one. And that's what I really want to get across in this talk here. Being able to reach across the aisle and not be so tied up in your political ideology. That's my main thing. So basically, I implore all of you, you're in college, don't just look at things like, well, I have to be this way. This is what I've been told my whole life. This is what my parents told me. This is what my grandma, my granddad, everybody wants me to do. If I don't do it, they're disappointed. Just look at yourself and say, hey, wait a minute. What's going on with the world? Can I be somebody that's different? Must I look at everything from what someone else has told me? Just do some reading, do some research, and be able to come to your own conclusion on life and everything about life. So that's pretty much all I got. My name is Logan. Thank you for listening.